Well, the experience was mad. I mean, we knew that we needed, immediately, is how this is going to go on for a while. How do we stay out there without, talking about beautiful beaches and gorgeous mountains, which seemed kind of irrelevant given what we were all going through. But it was, how can we do some good and also keep our name, front and forward during this. So it was like, let's go digital. The problem is we'd never really done it before. And this was all super new, and we really weren't that good at it. And we said to the team, we got about a week to get going. And we did. And Anna led it with our marketing group. And it took us about 5 days to do our first Zoom call. And it was a yoga session. And 3 days into it, we were doing a yoga session with our head of yoga in his living room in North Delhi. And we were Zoom bombed because we had really no idea what we were doing. And from a downward dog pose, we ended up with hardcore porn on our screens, and everyone was like paralyzed, Well, what do we do now other than just turn your computer off? So we figured that out, but that's how it all started. And it hasn't really stopped, but it was incredibly well received. And I think that was because, apart from the content, it was very raw. It was unproduced. It was kind of amateur, but it was very real, and it came from the right place. And people actually appreciated that it wasn't this highly produced, segment and so on. So what we've learned from it is how to do it better. We don't get Zoom bombed anymore, and how to deal with multiple platforms at the same time. But also the realization that we need to keep this going. And we haven't hired anybody because we've been on a hiring freeze, other than looking for a head of digital and to start to take this seriously and really be out there, not just around wellness, because we were one of the first, but then everyone started doing it. But all the things that we believe in and all the values that are important to us, to put them online in a digital world, and that will do some good, and it will help the brand. So we're really excited about the future as it comes to when it comes to digital.
That's great. And Neil, I have to say, Six Senses at Home, and you're the envy because you're the right size to be nimble. So I'm sure you're the envy of a bigger brand. But the question I would say is, well, I think it's worked for you, because I have to be honest, in the 20 years that I've known you, I've never seen you looking so well. So I wonder if there's a few less plane rides and a few less time zones to struggle with regards to jet lag, but it's totally worked for you. And do you agree? How are you feeling? Do you feel as good as you look, is my question.
I do. And I mean, it was for me personally, it was a big wake up call. And I mean, I was traveling 70% of the time. And you just, when you do it, you're in it and you just do it. And you don't always realize what's happening to you. But probably from about October last year, and I worked with this group out of LA called Lifespan, which is very interesting. It's a 360-degree view on health. And they start with just doing very forensic blood work and determining, what food is impacting your immune system. So it's not a diet, it's just what you eat and what you don't eat, because of inflammation, which is what it's all about. So I started on that, and then we had lockdown, and I pulled out an old bicycle that I don't think I'd been on a bike since I was a teenager, and back with the trainer, which I could do when you're not traveling. So for me, it's been really good, and I feel better than I felt in a long time, actually.
Well,
so
it's lovely to see you walk the talk, and so it's noticeable. All right, last question, because we could go on, like I said, forever. There's so many people around the globe right now watching you and looking for advice and looking for tips for the future. If you could, and briefly, what are 3 tips, 2 or 3 tips, pieces of advice you would give all of our friends that are listening to?
Yeah, but before I give any advice, I do want to say, and don't get embarrassed, that Mia, you should probably be answering that as well, because you are one of the stars of our industry and have been for years and years and years. And next time you should let me interview you. Okay, Sharon? Is that all right?
We'll make sure they know thought for next year. Deal.
But
very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. It's true. But my take on it, and advice, and it may sound a bit hokey, but A is really just to come from a place of honesty and just really be honest about what you're doing. Our customers are way smarter than they used to be. They've been through a shocking period in their lives. None of us have been through this before, and we have an obligation here, I think, to people generally. So be honest, be real, and do things with integrity. I also think you have to be brave, and take some chances, because it is not going to be the same anymore. The business model will change. Don't be fearful of that, and be out there, and just because you don't feel comfortable doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. And people need to try and look at new ways of doing everything, and of running our business, and what we offer, and how we interact with our customers. And so bravery is very important. And I think the most important to me is that people remain curious, that we have to dive into this stuff and just ask questions and study and look and experience and just be curious about the world and what people don't know they want, but we can introduce them to new things. We have that ability. And don't follow the market, lead the market, and create stuff that will resonate with our customers. We can do it. And I think that's my advice. That's what we've got to do.
Well, Neil, on that note, I think one of the big things I've been talking about in 2020 is the business impact of love as a strategy, because we need to really reconnect with our whole selves. And so in the spirit of love and the spirit of being honest and brave, I'm going to tell you that I love you, and I want to toast 2021 together. I think you have wine. I have champagne. I'm going to toast to you and say,
I love you too.
Thank you. And let's just hope that 2021 brings us all closer together and to your hotels again. So here's to you.
Thank you, Madonna. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.